Welcome, everybody. This is Derell with the Conscious Clientele, broadcasting from Derell, the Rebirth. I'm going to be doing a short live stream today. It's going to be about 30 to 45 minutes. I have a session in about an hour or so. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about my um showing yesterday. Shout out to everybody that came out to support me in the manosphere as I was on the Prophet of Thought series. I'm going to do a short review of the things that have happened on there. It was a very, very interesting live stream. It basically, be honest with you, um, the context of the interview was really good. Things developed conflictual just the way I thought it would. I knew we were going to be cordial, but I knew that soon as we dug into the gist of the topics that we really wanted to discuss, I knew that it was going to get intense. I knew it was going to get, you know, somewhat dramatic and so forth. It's going to be conflictual. It's going to be a lot of statements that were said on both ends, shots fired. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Now, I made sure it was not going to be a situation where I'm arguing with 100 different people. I made damn sure of that. Because that could have easily happened. What's up, We Unlock Nation? What's up, We Unlock? I mean, I'm a little disappointed, man. I thought the sector was going to show up a little deep. I didn't see a lot of guys in there from the sector. I know y'all don't like watching certain content if it ain't the sector or Umar related, but man, we're gonna have to get over that, man. If we gonna grow the sector, we got to deal with other sectors. If we want to grow the sector, the Umar Johnson sector, we're gonna have to do other things. We're gonna have to be more versatile, man. And I know that a lot of people right now wondering what am I doing and the direction of my channel. The direction of my channel signifies the fact that I am trying to be diverse. And for those that didn't watch yesterday, man, y'all missed some good content. Y'all missed a real good show. I held my own on the onslaught of questions that were red pill in nature. I talked about the dating. Then I talked about the black family. When we talked about dating, things, went smooth, and as we went into things, but when we got to the family, all shots were fired. Now, as you all know, for many of you all, you're not familiar with Prophet of Thought series. Brother X been around for a long time, well over 7-8 years. He has interviewed an array of different people. Even he actually knows Umar Johnson. He actually knows Umar Johnson in person. He says he knows Umar Johnson. We talked about Umar Johnson. There were several people in the chat that tried to get at me and tried to speak disparaging about me due to Umar Johnson. They asked questions about, typical stuff about how Umar trying to open up a school when he ain't taking care of his children, all of this kind of stuff, which is what I expected. What's up, Jazz? What's up, Just Being Jazzy? He says, great job yesterday, brother Derell. Thank you a lot. Now, some of you all are wondering, why is Mr. Simptastic on the thumbnail? Because as I was trying to go through my debate, you got this 6'5" Frankenstein, Negro Stein, had to come in and make his little points and say little dumb shit. I haven't talked about Simptastic in a long time, as far as I can remember. And I understand how easily triggered his meager mind is as it relates to things he don't agree with. But see, I don't have time to deal with toy soldiers who've been at the same position for 15 years with a stagnant pay, waiting to get out in the next 2 years, spending their time doing YouTube videos, driving on fucking expeditions to South Florida and back. No, but see, no telling where else he didn't drove. He probably drove 7, 8 miles, 100 miles somewhere else. We don't even know. But I'm in here trying to have a cordial interaction. Brother X, we all know, man. The manosphere is going to have to get out of this shit about blame black women for every goddamn thing. You can bring up, they tried to bring, and see, this is the thing. You do not intimidate me with statistics. And see, that is what frustrates these guys. Because they think that if you throw some statistics at me, I'm going to fold. Actually, you show them statistics, and I'm going to show you why you're wrong. And they don't like that. But to see, the bottom line is that, guys, as I told you all, this is what I do for a living. I'm trained in this. You're better off having an argument with me without using statistics. To be honest with you, you're better off trying to create an argument without the use of statistics. Because I will eat your ass up when it comes to statistics. Period. Because I understand the nature of statistics and how they're used and how they're misused. So the main topic of conversation was about statistical data compiled by the CDC. Now, we all know the CDC is a government agency, but the CDC has not been the most ethical. The CDC has had controversial statistics in the past. There has been controversy in regards to the CDC that is located in Atlanta in regards to data about gay black men. There have been issues about the CDC as it related to other diseases and the statistics, particularly when measuring the occurrences by minorities. The CDC has this in their reputation. They are not without fault. The CDC makes mistakes just like anybody else. What's up, KW? Done 7. Fantastic says he only likes red bones, self-hate at its finest. See, you can't listen to mongrels like Fantastic. You can't hate. You can't worry about. I'm gonna say this to the black women in the sector. I'm gonna say this to the black men in the sector, the black women in the sector. You cannot be triggered by a man you would never open your legs to. Stop it. Don't waste your time being upset with guys that you know you would never open your legs to. Matter of fact, looking at him dries you up. So why would you worry about what he says? Don't worry about it. None of you would ever entertain Mr. Simptastic from a relationship or romantic standpoint. So why even bother? You see, you can go lift all the weights that you want. It's never going to deter the women from looking at your face and frowning. That's just the facts. You can have as many muscles as you want. When she look at you, all that shit is irrelevant. I'm sitting here, this dude coming here trying again. When you can't debate me, you can't debunk me. I don't understand. Everybody always tries to minimize and attack my profession. When, be honest with you, I give legitimacy to the space. Because there are really no therapists, and there's not a lot of true professionals in the space. There's a lot of shit talkers, There are a lot of Negroes in here talking crazy, saying all kinds of crazy stuff, trying to, for cash apps and whatever else. But these Negroes really, really are not. They have no credibility to speak about the stuff that they talk about. And they know this. And they know that I know this. That's why they don't like debating me. I care less about the tally of people voting against me on purpose, not because the quality of the debate, because you just don't like me. So yes, X put up the little tally thing or whatever for people to vote. An impromptu. That was not a real debate. 20% of the people voted for me. 70% of the idiots were going to vote for me, vote against me, no matter what I was going to say. Now I'm going to debate Little Big Nate because Little Big Nate couldn't wait to get up there and try to talk. Then he got frustrated. He got frustrated in 5 minutes. I'm sitting there. Now, how you going to ask me a question when you going to try to control the answers? You cannot ask a question and control the context of the answers. You want to ask me an either or question when you control the options of the either or. Now you're gonna ask me a simple ass question. You either can choose between the two. There were 10 people. There was 9 black women, 10 black women, and whatever amount of black men. And of all the women, 9 of the black women had sex with 2 of the black men and had a whole bunch of children, and they burnt the island up. Who was the most at fault? And I told him, I said, listen, who was the most responsible? The most responsible for the fact that you had kids was the 2 men and the 9 other women that they had sex with. And he lost his mind that I would not say black women were responsible. Now, how the hell black women gonna be responsible, totally responsible for what the offsprings have done? Are we not valuing the presence of a black man in the home? Are we not valuing the presence of black men raising children and creating better human beings as a whole? Yeah, he says he only likes light-skinned girls. My thing is that, be honest with you, a lot of light-skinned women ain't checking for Mr. Matter of fact, most women ain't checking for him. So I don't even know why he brought that up. We Unlock said, question, do any of these guys have a good relationship with their mother? Some of them do, some of them don't. There's a lot of them that do complain about their mothers. KW Don 7 says, that's the equivalent of being triggered by Dusty G, a woman who that's crazy. A woman who cakes on makeup and wears fake hair. Listen, man. Dusty G. I really listen when it comes to Dusty G, and many people felt like I should debate her. And I'm like, why should I debate a novice? Why should I debate a person that has no credentials or credibility in trying to assess black male pathology? First of all, she don't even understand the true procedures that one must go through in order to assess anybody's pathology. And also, you can't really assess anybody without seeing them in person. That's actually unethical, to be honest with you. Now, you can give an overview. You can give, some, kind of a critique of things that could have happened. But you cannot truly assess anybody's pathology unless they're one-on-one with you. So I don't, and since you don't even understand what pathology means, because pathology is the method of analyzing or assessing and identifying the causes of a disease and the symptomology and how it affects a person over time. How can you assess pathology, particularly psychopathology, from a place of biasness? But see, I don't blame Dusty G. I blame the people who listen to her that think she knows what the hell she's talking about. She does not know anything she's talking about. In the bottom line, she doesn't even speak psychology jargon. She doesn't even speak in terms of the terminology and jargon of the field. She doesn't know what she's talking about. What she's doing is she reads his history and she takes out excerpts or different episodes or different instances, identifiable extreme incidents of black men behaving in certain ways. She takes it out of context and then she says, I'm assessing pathology. You don't know anything about pathology. Matter of fact, you dropped out of college. You don't even have to be honest with you, a psychology degree does not train you to do that. And even if you had a psychology degree, you still would not be qualified. A psychology degree does not give you practical experience and practical knowledge. It only gives you basic knowledge overview of the main theoretical concepts of the field of psychology, theory, schools of thought, main theorists, their background, psychological stages, psychosocial stages. That's what psychology teaches. It gives an overview of the history, experimental statistics. It only gives you a summary. In summary, the totality of what makes up the field of psychology, all of its off branches, all of their main talking points. Psych degree is not clinical at all. Matter of fact, I've been in this field for over 20 years, and I still have not mastered effectively. There's always room for growth in assessing psychopathology. That's why we have what's called continuing education classes to constantly improve your skills. So if I am a man with a license and 2 psychology degrees who is well well known in my city and in my region, highly sought after, both local, state, and somewhat from the federal government. I'm getting ready to get federal contracts. I have a state and local contracts. If me as a person who has assessed psychopathology since having my license in 2006, 15 years, how the hell you think, Dusty G, you with little bit of nothing reading Google information have the goal to think that you can assess anybody's pathology when you can't even deal with your own pathology? See, this is the kind of shit you got to deal with on YouTube. IK1.7 said, oh my God, didn't he drive 8 hours to get cakes? And he got turned around. Yes, he did. And I made a point of bringing that up. X got frustrated about it, talking about, well, D. Derell, can you prove it? Brother X was like, D. Derell, can you prove it? I'm like, yeah, I can prove it. I can prove it because I remember when she brought it up. The lady that said he did it, matter of fact, I was on my way to Louisiana, man. And I went to a funeral. I was on my way home. I was on my way to Louisiana for a funeral. Actually, for my cousin, my first cousin passed away. I think this was in October. Yeah, it was in October, I think. On my way there, man. On my way there, this particular individual got up and just basically spontaneously talked about what happened and what he did, and we was dying laughing. So yes, I believe her. K1 Dunn 7 says the gynocracy versus the black manosphere are two sides of the same coin of non-productivity. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. A psych degree is not clinical, just basic information, case management position. That's it. You're right, Case. That's what a psych degree is. Yeah, you will learn clinical information, but you can't practice it. You cannot practice it. And to be honest with you, even that clinical information that you are learning is only surface level. It's not at a complex level. Queen of the Valley Cali says, you can't season with folks in love with avatars. You can't reason. Queen of the Valley said you can't reason with people who love avatars. I know, man. I know. Shout out to Queen of the Valley Cali, man. TMHC. Shout out to the TMHCs, man. I see y'all basically y'all are talking of YouTube, Black YouTube right now. I'm hearing you all. I'm hearing about the TMHCs and a lot of different channels, man. Y'all basically travel in packs. Come on, K Podcast. You know who Mr. Simptastic is. Stop. What's up, Kev 504? Shut out to New Orleans, man. Yeah, man, I had a good time in New Orleans last month. Went to New Orleans for a weekend, 4th of July weekend. Man, I had me some beignets. I went to this wine store inside the Riverwalk Mall. Man, this wine, I bought like 6 bottles of wine. I'm gonna start ordering my wine online and they can deliver it to me. You know, I'm like, man, I'm definitely gonna be going back to New Orleans. Hopefully, if they have the Bayou Classic, I'm gonna try to go back to New Orleans for the Bayou Classic. Got to represent Southern University, HBCU. So guys, I'm sitting here listening to this shit. I'm arguing with this. All they doing is blaming black women for every goddamn thing. Yeah, man, K, that's what I'm saying. The Negro, let me get to this, K. K, all I was doing, TPOT was trying to sway the conversation to black women making these bad decisions. Black women are the reason of the destruction of the black community. Black women are dating and pumping and dumping with all these men. First of all, there is no effective way to clearly identify who black women are sleeping with. Okay, that's right. SU all the way, Kev. There's no real legitimate way. You can only estimate. You can give an estimate based on data that is being collected. Just because you collect data doesn't mean that information automatically is 100% accurate. There's going to be holes in the data. There's going to be error. I brought that up to Prophet of Thought, to Brother X. He refused to listen to it. Basically, what he wanted me to do to give a clinical analysis of how black women are fucking up the community, and I refuse to do that because we cannot put the total blame of the community on black women. This whole thing about black men being better parents than black women, single black fathers, when you know damn well it's probably less. There's probably 10 to 20 times more single mothers raising children than black fathers. Single black fathers. Let's stop. So it's not an accurate comparison because there's not a big enough sample size. That's just facts. It's just not, man. It's not. So let's stop it with this disingenuous use of data. You see, you can get away with that with other people who are not trained in statistics. You can't get away with that shit with me. I can basically hope I know the statistics. Number one, a lot of this stuff that they're reading, I already know it in the first place. Some of this stuff, man, I just casually read just to get an overview of what's going on. These fools think that statistics give a definitive answer to why something occurs. When again, as I talked about in many instances, statistics gives a basically overall view of the probability of why something occurs and the variables that contribute to that. The research, basically, good research is going to have a high level of validity and a high level of reliability. You cannot look at the CDC collecting data on the marital habits of black men and black women, and then you attribute that to why black women are choosing Pookies and Ray Rays to have 4 and 5 kids for. And it's all her fault. That to me is a disassociation. Is basically to me is actually an unintellectual use of data. You don't know what you're doing. You're incompetent in using data. What's up, Boris LeBeau? K says, remember we said it's a few days ago. If you go there, someone will try and beef with you. Remember that. You did, and I wasn't even expecting Simptastic to be there. But he went. He came over there. So it is what it is. What's up, Rollo? Kev says, I agree. I'm a single parent of a 9-year-old girl. I mean, just constant. Every question was geared towards it gotta be the black woman's fault. She has to have all the blame. It's the black woman did this. The black woman did that. The black woman did this. The black woman, she chose them Pooker. What about it? And then they try to use some of the most extreme occurrences to make as an example of what black women are doing. They use a situation in Tennessee in which there were 4 women that had sex with no, it was 9 women that had sex with 4 men that have 80 children. And don't you know they blame the women for not knowing who the men were sleeping with? I'm sitting there like, what does that have to do with the statistics of who is single and who's married and how many children? The bottom line, those 4 men had no business impregnating women, being undisciplined with their dick, creating children that they know they can't afford. But you don't want to hear nothing about that. Oh, well, those women decide life, and those women can take away. They don't even have to tell you. You're right, they don't. But that still does not elude you from the fact that you should wrap up. You should strap up. You should not be having sex with women like that. And then you get mad when she puts you on child support when you create a child. What's up, Ted Matrix? What's up, brother? Kay said that's not true. Black women are not the only ones. I work in school services, and it's both black men and exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, guys, I have the clinical and the on the field knowledge, man. I work in community organizations all the time. There's a huge absence of black men. They actually are painting this picture as if black men are doing this upstanding, wonderful job of being fathers. Black men are basically overall being good fathers. And we know damn well that's not the truth. And to be honest with you, the gaslighting is if they are ignoring the ills and the poor decision making of black men is ridiculous. It's just laughable and embarrassing that as a professional, because this is the reason why they don't like to debate me, is because I see things and I assess things, and I actually have the education and the clinical skills that it actually counts in real life. See, this bullshit they doing on YouTube does not count. You can hear Cynthia G talk about all the black male pathology she wants. She cannot go into the open market and be in a position to analyze anybody's pathology. She can't. She's not educated enough. And I don't give a damn how many books you try to read. I don't give a damn how many articles on Google that you're reading, because your ass probably never stepped into a college library since you fucking dropped out of one. You have to go through an organized and structured means of obtaining those skills. Measuring and assessing, using appraisals and instruments to assess pathology, period, is something that is an ongoing process. You can never be too good at that. You always have room. You will always have room to get better. Let me repeat that. There is always room to get better. It is not an exact science. That's the facts. Kay says, do you know how many men and women parents' rights I had to terminate because they refused to comply with their service agreements, and or see their children in foster care? Exactly. I've been dealing with that in CPS. I've been doing CPS work. I subcontracted work since 2006. I started doing it myself as far as just contracting work on my own since 2010. December 2010 to be exact. Both black men and black women, married or non-married, are making bad decisions when it comes to raising children and maintaining families. That's the facts. That's the facts. That's the facts. And the bottom line is that there's a lot to be said for it to get better. There's a hell of a lot for it to said for it to get better. Hi. All right. And in all actuality, it's not getting better. And there's a lot of work to be done in our community. A lot. So let's not sit here acting like black men are doing this wonderful job and our community is hurting. And to me, it shows the delusions of the manosphere. It shows how delusional the manosphere is. They are very delusional because they don't see reality for what it is in the real world. There's a large percentage of guys that just don't leave their mother's basement and they don't interact with people. Then there's a percentage of people who lie about what they believe in and they practice differently in real life. And then you got those that live by this foolish ideology every day and they deal with what they deal with. And that's facts. You're right. You have to work with the community to understand. These guys don't even want to deal with the community, but they want to look at some raw numbers from studies, raw numbers from statistics. I never dismiss any of the statistics, but you have to read the statistics in the context in which they were created, and not take statistics to create questions and to create narratives that in which those statistics were not intended to measure. Period. I think the bigger problem is that these dudes and females are allowed to thrive in the environment. They're celebrated while the good men and women are ignored. Exactly. Exactly. That is so true. And my thing is that, I'm starting back to do my little manosphere content. I'm still gonna do my pro black dissector content too. But I'm getting back into the thick of things. I got some debates. I will be debating Little Big Nate in about 2 weeks. I could have debated him next Thursday, but I may have some things to. I'm gonna wait maybe 2 weeks because I know he's chopping at the bits. Little Big Nate gonna sit there, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know that I'm not gonna win that debate because Little Big Nate. I understand that you're in a conservative, um, you're in a conservative environment. No matter what I say, they're going to vote against it. It's not a fair debate. And I know Brother X was like, well, D. Derell, you won a few times. Yeah, yes, K, Little Big Nate. Well, D. Derell, you won a few times. D. Derell, yes, I did. But those topics were not, the topics that I won were not red pill in nature. And it wasn't a matter of conservatism or liberalism. Those are the only types of topics that are neutral of those particular concepts that I have a chance of winning. I really, be honest with you, in all actuality, I never really lost the debate. It just so happened because the chat didn't like me, they chose to vote against me. You see, if you say anything that's positive about black women, you're going to lose. No matter how well you can debate. No matter how well you debate, if you say things that are not pro black male, or that's not, it's not even a matter of being pro black, but it's just a matter of not being against black females, they are not going to like you. Now I'm gonna say this, we unlock. I was a little disappointed, man. I thought the sector was going to at least. I was just hoping at least 8 to 10 people could have showed up. I didn't see anybody from the sector. And that was the reason why I did a video. I did a pre-show to hopefully get some of these guys. And I'm like, the sector is not going to grow if we continue to do what we're doing. Right now, we got people like Smoke Thug got, Smoke God saying that I'm funding Poetic Flocka. I'm not going to. I mean, you got big man, not big man, grown man saying that I the biggest snake in the sector. Like, y'all Negroes are irrelevant, especially grown man. You are irrelevant. You're not even worth me acknowledging. Now I'm gonna get the Smoke because Smoke reached out to me saying we need to talk about some things. And this whole thing, Smoke, I am not funding anybody's behavior. Everything that anybody does is because on their own due diligence, has nothing to do with me. Now, do I patronize those and give them support and donations if they have content that's worthy of me donating? Yes, I do it all the time. And I will continue to do it. But I am not making a concerted, organized effort to do things just and to support other people's channels. No, I don't. What's up, Be More Legends? So I'm sitting here like, and I'm about to get off in a little bit. I got a few more minutes. But it's like I'm sitting here just shaking my head at these people. You got people in there like American Negro and Stoic and some other little goofy Negroes and TPOT's Brother X channel saying all kind of stuff. Oh, you're a horrible therapist. What kind of therapist are you? You're only saying this because you're getting rich off of black women. What would happen if you want the community to be dysfunctional so you can continue to make money? Oh, it's just crazy. This fantastic saying you're the worst therapist in the world. You lost the argument on this, and I'm sitting there like, where do these miscreants come from, man? These guys are the misfits of the black community that were unable to find a place in the community, and now they found refuge on YouTube, and now they think they got power, got their chest sticking out like they big man out. They big man right now. I'm like, stop. You're still the same sensitive, awkward, you know, undisciplined, sorry SOBs of a human beings that you've always been. You're the same Negroes that are scared to ask a woman on a date. You're the same Negroes that are scared to approach women. You're the same Negroes when you meet women, your palms get sweaty, you start stuttering, start shaking, don't know what to do. A lot of these men are just strictly, they are afraid of women. Even in their 20s and 30s, even some in their 40s, they are horrified at women because they don't know what to do when women are in their presence. And that's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that men at that age have not learned how to socialize with their counterpart. So they find ways to avoid doing so by going on YouTube and complain about them every goddamn day. Every goddamn day. And so I'm like, wow. So guys, I got pretty much what I expected. And I played it well because I understand these guys and where they come from and how misled they are. So you got haters up in here. You constantly got a lot of haters. Haters everywhere. Yeah, man, this shit is crazy. But overall, man, I had a fun time. Your boy, Lil Big Nate, was trying to get me with questions that he couldn't. He got frustrated. I'm going to start talking more about politics. I'm going to begin to do a political show at least once or twice, where I want to talk about certain political issues, because obviously that's something that the manosphere likes. And I'm going to debunk a lot of this foolishness, this innate love for Donald Trump is sickness. A man who owned apartment buildings that wouldn't even allow you to live in those apartment buildings, and you Negroes are sitting there acting like Donald Trump is the poster boy for masculinity. You're going to use an old, senile, crusty, stinky, gruffy-looking, Chucky doll-looking ass white man as the face of masculinity? Are you losing your goddamn mind? This motherfucker is senile. And then Lil Big Nate talking about the true winner of the race. No, it was a true winner of what? Quit caping. Quit capping. Stop it. But this is what I have to deal with in the manosphere, guys. This is what I have to deal with. This is what you have to deal with when you're in this space. So I'll be going back and forth. Right now, I see people in the sector. They trying to do this and do that. Your boy Shakim Rod got some stuff going on tonight about Poetic Flocka. I gotta check that out. I got an answer to the smoke guy because he talked. He got my name in his mouth. So I deal with that. And I'll deal with grown man irrelevant ass. So it is what it is. Real like said, Derell, you can't take everybody and their mama with you. Doug said, if you talk about politics, I hope you will discuss actual policies. Yes, I will. I will discuss actual policies, whether it's liberal or conservative. Bad policy is bad policy. Doesn't matter where it comes from. Good policy is good policy. Doesn't matter where it comes from. And I think in our political system, they don't like a policy unless their camp created the policy. They're all about, can I benefit from the policy? It's not about the policy itself, but can the party benefit from it? Can their constituency benefit from it? That's what they're looking at. So, and that's totally wrong. I have no vested interest arguing with these Negroes about policy they don't understand and just arguing points of views. If we want to argue red pill concepts, we can argue red pill concepts. We're going to argue politics, but I have no interest in fusing the two together just to make people entertained. And you're right, Kay. You said that I was going to end up beefing with somebody, and sure enough, Mr. Simptastic, doing what he does best, has to open his fucking mouth up to say all kind of dumb shit. At first, I wasn't going to even say anything. The first time he talked about me being a bad therapist. Then he said stuff about me having to go to the gym. Negro, you can go to the gym 7 days a week. It don't matter. You can try to overcompensate for looking the way you look. They still don't want you. You still chose YouTube over your own family. Negro, you the one paying child support and getting a divorce. I don't have those problems because I prioritize and know what's best for me. Those are the facts. So, other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this bad baby up. It's been fun. Just wanted to chat with you all for a little bit to have this discussion. Again, guys, check out the replay, Derell with the Proper Thought series discussing dating in the Black family. It was dope. It was great interaction. It was back and forth. The shots were fired. You know, now it prepared me to have another debate. I can't wait to do it. I'm going to tear a little Big Nate ass up on politics. Y'all have a great day. Peace.